Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So I do apologize for the late noticing of this notice. Of course, being that I'm actually on vacation, my time zone is a little bit off, and so I didn't realize that the update would hit tonight. Now that being said, we are still on update 3.0.110. However, we do have a new version of a unit, another style, Jorurihime, or Hime, aka AS Heena. Now if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. Okay, so first of all, AS Heena, I don't know if anyone remembers Heena from the main story, because the problem is that as she was introduced, she really had a minor role in my opinion. I remember when the main story was released featuring Heena, I think Yukino or Sukiya were probably bigger members of that story, and so that's unfortunate at that time. However, I hope that AS Heena does have a kind of a revival or gets inserted into more of the storyline in the future. Now that being said, the original Heena was interesting in the fact that she did have a preemptive move that reduced enemy speed, and that was very useful against the fight of that time, namely the dual Hachios. I think the Yasuzumi, where you could down speed the Yasuzumi, dual Hachios, and then you can do your attacks before Yasuzumi drains your MP. Now that being said, AS Heena has some interesting moves. She's got a VC that can not only do Wind Pierce AoE, it can also inflict poison and pain for 3 turns, ignore target resistance. Now, I don't think that VC is that great nowadays because you can actually get that from moves such as Raijul. However, it's still very interesting, especially if you don't have access to some of the newer units out there. What is really interesting about AS Heena is that she has the potential to be a massive DPS, as well as a unit that can do some tanking. And so in terms of tanking, she has the ability to activate cover on herself. Now what that means is she will be able to basically tank everything or redirect all attacks to herself, and she does have actually a move that does inflict rage to everyone, and then she can combine it with this. Now the interesting about this one is the amount of cover is one thing, however she can actually avoid or dodge attacks in a mode called remnant state, and what that means is that as she is much faster than the unit and you can actually down speed the enemy, the difference between the enemy speed and her speed will dictate how much her dodge rate will be, and apparently the rate is up to 90% dodge. So you have a 10% of getting hit each time, and I believe she can dodge unlimited for that, I guess, for that turn. So the thing is, I think the dodge can only be for 1 turn, however she can dodge unlimited attacks, and then when she stacks based on the number of counters or the number of dodges, she can then either unleash a super mega attack that can do massive amounts of DPS, or can make her a lot more powerful for her next type attack. So it seems like she can have both offensive and defensive moves. However, it sounds very complicated in the fact that it sounds like it does take a lot of finagling, being that you're waiting specifically for counterattacks in order to build her to her best ability. I'll have to look into more of that either tomorrow for my Should You Summon. Of course, being on vacation, I haven't had as much time to do a lot of research on this unit, and so I do apologize if I'm not nearly as strongly opinionated about the unit as I usually am. Okay, so as usual, AS Heena will have her Fateful. This time you got 2 times maxed, as well as they're going to be a Fateful Encounter Recollection Tales from the East. So you can see that if you want some of the units not only featured in previous Tales from the East, you can see that Heena, both versions, Nakoko, both versions, Yukino, both versions, Kikyo, both versions, and Tsubame, both versions are featured on this banner. Now it's interesting the Sukiya is not featured, but that being said, we did have Ultra Sukiya recently, and so I can see why they might have left that out. And speaking about Tsubame, we do have a manifest battle for Tsubame normal style. So AS came out about, what, a year and a half ago, I guess, nowadays? And so the old normal style Tsubame was, I think, from the really beginning, version 2.0, I think, where that was the original Tales from the East. So she really does need a refresh. Looking forward to trying out the fight, and honestly, looking forward to trying out the new unit after her manifest. Hopefully it makes her a lot more powerful. I do understand that I haven't done a 5-star review for Ewan with True Manifest, and again, I apologize for that. Really been short on time and trying to enjoy my vacation while playing another Eden. Okay, so we can also get a Chronostones discount, 1 package of each, and there, of course, usually are some patches where they fix some incorrect things or weird mechanics that aren't working properly. So that being said, let me know in the comments below what you think about this update, what you think about AS Heena or even Tsubame's manifest, and more importantly, how you feel about the updates that have been happening so far. So if you think about it, only a few weeks ago we've had the main story part 3 come out. I don't know about you, but I'm actually still slowly working through the content. It's been taking a lot longer because the world is actually a lot more expansive, and the number of secrets are also a lot more plentiful. So it's taking me some time. I'm trying to enjoy the game while balancing completing story content. As for a manifest fight, I'm always looking forward to the challenge. I find manifest fights at this point in the game, especially for myself as an AE global veteran, it's definitely more enjoyable nowadays because at the end of the day, most manifest fights are very manageable. They're certainly not crazy stumpers such as the likes of things like warped fights or even some of the newest bounty super bosses. Manifest fights are usually pretty easy to tinker with as long as you have enough Grasta and a varied roster. Also, let me know in the comments below if you're planning to summon on AS Heena. Being that it is featured with Tsubame's manifest, I imagine this is going to be a split banner. So if you are looking for any form of Heena, it might not be as easy to get as, say, a dedicated full-on banner. For myself, I actually do have a Heena as a normal style 5-star, and of course I also do have Tsubame in both her forms other than the altar, which I have finally got my 3rd opus, so I'm just honestly biding my time before side grading a bunch of units that I haven't gotten a chance to, and so I will not be summoning on this banner at all. But I will be trying to complete the fight tomorrow if I do have time. For those who are curious, being that I'm normally on the West Coast, my update would drop at about 8 p.m. With the spring forward. However, being in Hawaii, it's actually 3 hours behind, so it's a lot different to try to catch the right timing to do updates like this. Anyways, looking forward to challenging the fight tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be able to squeeze that in into my busy schedule. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.